morning, guys. You're in my cabinet. I almost forgot. I was doing what I eat in a day. And so I'm halfway through this. But I just used one of my Keto Prove It packets. I have the Keto jellies, the splash. I have all of these. Let's see, I think I have another one. I know I have, no, there it is. This is a newer one, and then I have all these. I bought those, I think back in September, October, and I just didn't use them. I used a lot of them, but then I didn't. I mixed that one packet with water from my Brita, and I like to put them in mason jars because I like to be able to shake them up, and that way there's not like a lot of nasty powder everywhere. But I'm already halfway through this when I realized I should be filming it. So I do intermittent fasting, but I do this in the mornings. Depending on how hungry I am, I might start eating at 10, I might start eating at 12, anywhere in between that time frame, but I usually don't eat my first meal later than 12. No. That's this morning, guys. Okay, guys, we're back in the kitchen. It is not quite 10 o'clock, it's 9:25, and I'm already hungry. And so I just know I'm going to be eating around 10. And because I know I'm going to be eating around 10, I wanted to go ahead and cook my meal or start meal prepping some things now so that when I am hungry, I'm not like going through here and my husband has chips for lunch and we have sandwich stuff, and the last thing I want is to get so hungry that I reach for something like that that's quick. So I'm going to boil some eggs, I'm going to prep my Brussels sprouts, and then actually what I am eating for lunch is already cooked in the fridge, but I'm just making preparations now for later. And that is one of my tips, and the biggest thing I think that contributes to changing the way you eat. It's always being prepared, making sure that you are not to the point of ravenous and you have nothing prepped and ready to eat, because that's usually when you'll reach for something that may not make your body feel the greatest, like a ho-ho or a bag of chips. For me, that makes my body feel like sludge. And if you watched my New Year's resolutions video, I said that I wasn't technically doing keto. I didn't want to put a label on it. I was just going to be eating things that make my body feel good, so fuel for my body. And for me, that is a lower carb lifestyle, and that's because I have polycystic ovarian syndrome and insulin resistance. I don't know if I actually linked those videos down below in that New Year's resolution video. I'm gonna have to check, and if I didn't, I will link them. I'll also link them here, that way you can go check those out. That way you kind of know my diagnosis, what my doctor recommended to me, and my doctor did recommend a lower carb lifestyle. So that's what I'm going to be eating. I probably need to explain this a little better. When I was doing keto, I was extremely restrictive, and I didn't have an issue with fruit with my body. It never made me feel awful, but I was on keto, so I couldn't have a banana. See those? Those are bananas. Because on this, if I'm going throughout the day and I feel like having a small banana, I'm gonna eat the banana. Just because it doesn't make my body feel bad. That's kind of what I'm doing. If it doesn't make me feel like crap, I'm gonna eat it, but I am gonna gear more toward low carb because that's how my body feels best. And don't get me wrong, I don't want a banana every single day. They're not my favorite fruit. I actually prefer berries, which are more low carb. Those bananas are actually for my husband's lunches, but if I want one, I'm gonna eat one. Do you see what I'm saying? Is this making sense? I really hope it is. But I'm going to go ahead and start meal prepping some things, and I'm going to take you along on that. You're also going to see how I make my Brussels sprouts, which if you've not tried Brussels sprouts, you should try this. They are amazing. They are a fan favorite in this house. Even my husband will eat them. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing I'm gonna do is get this, fill it up with water, and start boiling some eggs for snacks. Okay, so now it is time for the Brussels sprouts. I did put just 6 eggs in this bowl because, as I stated earlier, I'm not the biggest fan of eggs, and the last thing I want to do is make too many and them go to waste because my husband refuses to eat them as well. Now, I'm going to go ahead and prep my Brussels sprouts, and if you all have not eaten Brussels sprouts, try them this way. Let me know how you like them. This is what you're going to need. Garlic powder, avocado oil, pink Himalayan sea salt. I got this at Costco. And curry powder. While I'm prepping my Brussels sprouts, I go ahead and preheat my oven. First, I gotta get everything out of it. And I set my oven to 425. Oh, that's the wrong thing. First things first, I need to rinse these off. I rinse these off in the sink, and if they're looking a little crusted and busted, I do it kind of like I do lettuce, and I will pull the top layer off of the Brussels sprout. I used to quarter mine, but now I just put them in halves and then I throw them over into a bowl. Just take some avocado oil. I use avocado oil because it does have such a high smoke point. Then I'll just take some garlic powder. I don't measure this, guys. Pinch of salt. And I don't even use this little thing. I just take the lid off. Then before I go mixing it up, I put everything up because my hands are going to be gross. Ooh. And you just take your hands, mix it up. I take some non-stick Reynolds wrap. And then I literally just spread them out. And this is what it should look like. Sometimes after I get them like this, I'll take some more curry powder and just kind of actually use the lid just to really coat them. And that's it. And by now, my water's boiling. So I have my eggs here, and instead of just dropping them on over into it, I'm going to use a spoon. I'll use this one. I always put my Brussels on the top shelf so that the bottoms don't burn. As far as boiling eggs, I generally set a timer for like 10 minutes, 10 to 15. I like a hard boiled egg. Some prefer theirs a little softer. I don't. I don't want any runny yolk at all. And as far as the Brussels sprouts go, I put the oven on 425 and I start a timer for 18 minutes. Now, I don't have the ability to set 2 timers, so I will set a timer for 18 minutes and then I'll set an alarm generally for the 11 minutes for the egg. So 10:04 a.m. and then I just set it. It's snowing. I just opened this window, the blinds on this window, and it's snowing. Why? My favorite seasons are spring and fall, and that's generally because it's warm and getting cool, but not hot, and it's not freezing. This year in northern Kentucky, we skipped fall altogether and went straight from hottest day of summer to coldest day of winter. So yeah, it's snowing. Okay guys, oh, that's bright. Let me show this. I feel like I make that statement every single time I film in my kitchen because I like to keep all of my blinds open, and every single time I do, it just glares from right there, and I don't have a tripod, so you work with what you got. Anyway, these are almost done, but I'm gonna go ahead and start making my lunch. It is 10:07, and the Brussels sprouts have 3 more minutes, and I had turned my stovetop down, not thinking, and so I'm gonna let those cook a little bit longer. So I'm gonna go ahead and start my lunch. For dinner last night, I made a new taco recipe, and there's leftovers, so that's what I'm having for lunch. I'm gonna go ahead and heat that up, and I'll see you in just a minute. Brussels sprouts are complete, and I go ahead and take these off of this sheet pan and put them in a bowl so that they quit cooking. I have also prepped my bowl of water and ice for my eggs. I heard that if you put the eggs down in ice water, it also helps the peel come off easier. These look amazing. This is probably the best these have ever looked, and I cook these all the time. Hot. Do you all blow on your food and wait for it to cool off before you eat it? Or do you blow on it just a little bit and then put it in your mouth and breathe like a dragon until it cools off? Just curious, let me know in the comments down below. Now we'll leave those in there until after I get done with lunch. This is my first meal of the day. Got my tacos. I absolutely love these wraps. I got them at Kroger. I have never purchased these before, but they were all that was left at Kroger. Hot sauce, Brussels sprouts, and then sometimes I'll drink the water just plain. Sometimes I want a little raspberry lemonade Crystal Light in my life, but that is my lunch. Still have these. Instead of wasting this aluminum foil, throwing it away, I'll use it as the covering for my bowl. Because why get more when you have a perfectly good one right here? Then I put it in the fridge. Let's see if this actually worked. And it's easier to get these off. So far, so good. This is the third egg, and so far this is going really well. There we go. I think the key is to getting a good starter piece. Oh yeah, this is working great. And it's not because of the type of egg either, because these are like the cheapo extra large Walmart eggs. I think this is amazing. Alright guys, I'm looking a hot mess. I just took a shower. They came and fixed the drain in the basement. I could just jump up and down and scream. I'm that excited about the fact that they fixed that drain. There was a smell that came out of that drain. Not going there. We found out where it drains to, which is down there in the back, and the guy was like, hey, you want to come out here and look and see where it drains? And I'm like, well, not really, but I will, I guess. So I walk back there. You could smell it before you got to it. It was real great. Fun times. I was like, can I ask a question? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, what is that pungent smell? Like, what causes that? Because it's not my sewer. It's the drain in the basement. He's like, dirty laundry. I'm like, what? That's what that smells. I was like, all right, glad I washed my clothes. Anyway, it is 3:35 and I want a little snack. Have you guys seen that video? I'll have that link down below. It's this little boy and his mom makes him like dinner and he goes, it's just a little snack. You have to go watch it. It's the cutest thing ever. Anyway, I'm gonna ramble. Let's get something for a snack. A little snack. I get really excited about Brussels sprouts. I have an egg and some Brussels sprouts. And this is why I meal prep. I'm gonna try my egg. This is what we're having for dinner, and I didn't film me making it because it is 6:14 and we are rushing out the door on our way to church. So this is dinner. It's chicken fajitas.